You want to know what sucks? Always having to read and understand every tiny little change made to a Minecraft plugin while hoping nothing breaks after upgrading. Today's going to mark the start of a new TLDR video series for plugin updates so you can get a better understanding of what to expect when upgrading. I'm going to go over the ItemJoin version 5.2.3 release by starting with the new features you may be interested in, and following that up with some important changes that may be of note to admins updating from previous versions of the plugin. I will also quickly detail bug fixes from the previous version, and at the end, I will go over a short summary of key points that may be of interest to you. If at any time you get bored and you want to hear this quick summary, feel free to go to the indicated timestamp. With all of that said, let's get into the new features of version 5.2.3. ItemJoin now has full support for Minecraft 1.18 Cliffs and Caves. Support has been added for both new remapped and non-mapped dev jars to resolve issues with different forks of Spigot. Toggle commands have been added to custom items, which give players the ability to enable or disable items for themselves using a single or list of commands. In addition, you can specify a toggle permission and toggle message in conjunction with your toggle command. You can now specify worlds to disable your item in instead of listing specific worlds to enable. Dynamic world names have been added, so you can now specify a prefix of a list of world names followed by an asterisk to enable or disable worlds that start with that defined prefix. JSON text is now supported by the item command executor, and the format is exactly the same as the JSON books, so you can now have custom JSON messages. Support has been added for Nick API to resolve issues with nicknames. A new item flag hide flags has been added, which is exactly the same as the prior hide attributes item flag. The hide attributes item flag now only hides the attribute on an item such as attack damage or armor protection percentile. The hide flags item flag now supports the hide die item flag from Spigot. Support for flame cord has been added to fix the connection from ItemJoin to CloudSync. Active commands has now been added to the ItemJoin menu command, so now they can be modified in-game. The ItemJoin help command has now been updated to support the new JSON messages format that now provide helpful information when hovered or clicked on. And finally, support for Slime World Manager has been added, so ItemJoin now functions in a slime world. Now for the changes. Using legacy materials will now throw a soft exception if you are using a version of Minecraft that is 1.13 or higher. So basically, if you are using a numerical item ID and or data values instead of the proper string name, it would cause a major lag spike, and these materials are attempting to be cached by Spigot, causing a drop in TPS due to how their API handles registering legacy material information. These values should not be used in Minecraft 1.13+, so please use the proper formatting. Minecraft versions below 1.13 will remain unaffected and will benefit from numerical IDs. Bungee cord support has been altered. ItemJoin Bungee has now been renamed to CloudSync and contains many fixes, so ItemJoin has been updated to reflect this. It is important to note the old ItemJoin Bungee version will not function with this version of ItemJoin, so you will need to update CloudSync respectively. Swap item command behavior has been changed. There were a few glitches that would occur, and in addition, there would be a visible delay where the item was entirely missing prior to giving the swap item. Lastly, to further detail this here, the hide attributes item flag has been changed. This flag used to hide all tags, enchantments, and so on. This item flag now only hides the attributes of the item, such as armor points and attack speed. The prior functionality of hide attributes will now be found in the new hide flags item flag. Now for the bug fixes. I won't bother going over the simple fixes as they have no real implications to many of you who are updating. Instead, I will cover major fixes that have impacted the majority of you. There has been major TPS leaks and stability fixes to improve ItemJoin's performance. Compatibility with Geyser MC is one of them and has been fixed for both plugins trying to register a conflicting version of Tiny Protocol. The first world trigger has been fixed, as it was non-functional unless you added the join trigger in conjunction. The force op command identifier has been fixed. Plugins or programs that would check ItemJoin's code would detect it as malware because it did not understand dynamic values. The op command identifier now checks if you are op, and if you are, it will execute it via regular dispatch. If you are not op, you will be set to op using a static value, then removed from op using that static value, preventing any malicious intent. Blocks that did not drop items in vanilla Minecraft would not drop custom items if they had block drops specified, because ItemJoin thought you were using an incorrect tool, therefore it wouldn't drop the item. ItemJoin now checks if the item requires a pickaxe to break it. If it does, it will check what you used to break the block, otherwise it will drop the custom item regardless of existing drops, such as in the case of a spawner where no items drop when you break it. If Auth.me API's forced registration was turned off, ItemJoin will not issue an item despite the player not needing to register. ItemJoin will now check Auth.me's config file and check the boolean value. Grindstone behavior has been changed as it was able to repair an item with item repairable item flag despite being blocked. A fix has been issued for when a group permission for all commands including itemjoin.use would cause the plugin to break. A solution for Exploit Fixer has been patched into ItemJoin. If you use Exploit Fixer and you have items fix enabled in their config.yml, ItemJoin will now profusely scream at you until you disable it. There was no workaround for their items fix function, which would cause all ItemJoin items to break as they were sterilized by Exploit Fixer. No, ItemJoin items are not an exploit. So to cover all this information in quick succession, ItemJoin has been updated to fully support the latest Minecraft 1.18 release, toggle commands have been added so players can enable or disable items for themselves, world customization has been added. If you use bungee cord related features, the proxy plugin ItemJoin Bungee will no longer function with this latest release and will now require the latest release of CloudSync. The hide attributes item flag is now called hide flags, previous items will break if you do not change this in your items config, and ItemJoin has been optimized to function better with many minor bug fixes. If you have any feedback or suggestions for future videos, please leave it in the comments down below. If you have any feature requests or would like to report a bug, please do so on the ItemJoin GitHub repository by clicking the link in the description. If you don't feel like waiting and want a quicker response, feel free to join our Discord and create a ticket. If you've enjoyed this type of update style video, subscribe for more and hit that like button for future content. And thanks for watching.